And at the same time, how
Chat
exciting
is
is
generous
it gonna
today.
be?
I appreciate you guys.
Like
Thank you,
depth
thank you.
versus something.
Okay,
Again,
Zeta
this is a
on
matchup
defense.
that we don't get to
PRX
witness
on attack.
all too often, but here it is.
Let's see if
versus Zeta.
let's see if Zeta can kind of end on
the
a
attack. This is where
high.
they really
Again,
get
I
to
don't think
test
they're
their
going to win
composition.
this
This is where they get
at all,
to
but
throw some curveballs.
I think they
Zeta
can win
and
this
see
map.
how they react to
Right
it.
set.
And it's just going to be an all-in on the A side for the time being.
I'm pin the YouTube. Yeah.
Completely surpassed with the Prowler.
Dude, how fast are they going to be going on this? That's the real. That's the real thing. PRX could really send this.
Or, you know, with the Silva, sometimes you would just have to invest the 400 credit drone.
DNC, you did this as well. You've done 2 now. Thank you for doing that, man.
Another one for the entry. Gets the orb as well.
Back to back.
There are no signs of slowing down. Zeta's trying to get ahead of this, but the paranoia is going to keep them at bay, and that should be a clean entry onto the site. Zeta just going to wait to regroup for the retake.
Yeah, door's been blocked off as well, and now it gets shut down. So it's a full-on pistol, 5-on-5. Not the most fun of fights, but that said, some of the PRX players are banged up a little bit low. Pop flashes through it. Depth instantly 2 headshots back to back. They're starting to find some legs in this run. They're going to push on through. Depth dives in. You're on relays over, and with that, PRX 2-on-5. One player stuck inside main, one stuck inside the door. Might freak with the right clicks, able to find 2, but that's going to be it. I mean, they are still surrounding it. They are still sticking on that spike, and the defuse goes through. Zeta picks up the pistol.
Nice and clean retake, and I was afraid of something trying to get ahead of the flash drive, and he kind of did, but Dev was just quicker on the trigger. Gets the double kill right as that door breaks, so Zeta, understanding what they have
a little
to
too crazy finding door like this. At least they did it with 3 together.
That's the one thing they needed to block.
I'll be too angry at that.
Landing the kills that they would have desperately liked. Your ensure the flash drive a little bit late on that one, but still good for the trade as well.
Oh.
Yeah, enough numbers. Ultimately, that's the thing.
Where's the sound so loud for that one?
POV on that, but still, I mean, it's
okay,
going to be outlaw now.
What the hell is going on?
Depp
gets the outlaw. Yeah, I need to restart this PC after this game.
Especially with the outlaw coming out.
That's what I need to do.
Trying to see if they can get just a bit ahead. Find a couple cheeky kills with the sheriffs. See if it pays off. Jing looking to do a little bit of extra damage with the frenzy. Doesn't have a pick.
Incredible knife. It's 4.
Now fragment used early from Ura. Just wants to stay ahead. Just wants to make sure that he keeps distance. And Heaven is completely covered for last, but he gets taken out by the ghost. The outlaw now not landing either shot.
Not like this.
Zeta, Ura needs to hang on, but he's been taken out. The site completely given over. And now it's a 3v4 retake. Never mind, take that back. A 1v2.
Forsaken has the Bulldog too. He just got the spike planted. And never mind that. It's going to be something.
Yeah, and they pick up the Bulldog and double Bulldog on this one. So just as it was looking a little bit good for Zeta, got a bit of hope.
The upgraded pistols would do it all. I mean,
they just sent it straight towards Heaven. As soon as they got that kill, got that gun.
And found that
and the guys on Sire just in a really rough spot.
He wasn't able to fight back whatsoever.
Yeah,
and the outlaw had to find like one.
Trying to hold on to the connection onto Heaven, but obviously it was a bit of a short range. The angle not perfect for him if it goes into that wide swing. But either way, you have to wonder if PRX is going to be doing this against other teams in playoffs or champions as well, because I can't imagine it works every time, but it did this time, and it puts them well ahead on the economy. 5 rifles now to their name full util. Meanwhile, Zeta, this time looking to try to counter that Thrifty with one of their own. They do get ahead on the rotate, so just reading that it should be a fake, right? Put the smoke down on A main just to stall them, force them to rotate, and now we're going to stack on B and hope that PRX commits, which this team, they usually do.
Yeah. The question is, how is PRX going to approach this, right? Laz has a shorty, and if he plays the position right, he might just be able to eliminate one player once and for all. But something, dives right into market, clears it up.
We're bringing out this one.
And here we go.
We're bringing out the B fake dash through market over towards A.
The thing is it's a very logical rotation, and something's just going to find all the shots. Obviously at long range, total advantage for him. But what I love as I presume PRX will take control of that A site, is that they go for B. They instantly see that there is a setup here because they tag more than one person. They tag the Killjoy as well, so Killjoy util set up.
Probably wouldn't recommend doing against the Ecos, but again, PRX.
Something in, distract them. He goes all the way to mid.
No rules
if it's
apply.
An eco, you got to be stacking. You can't be spread out. And once he clears mid, you say, okay, well, it's a rotate,
6
right?
and
No
1
one's
for
going to be able to
something.
cut us off.
Yeah, here's the thing, Will. It's just so wild and funny that Something just dives into market.
Coach is waiting for me on Placha. I think I am on Placha this week. I mean, if Zeta came up, I would be pretty complimentary. Like, they start banning the only map that it didn't. Well, they banned the map that I really hated from them. And then they look good on Ascent and table.
Sure, but that is what makes PRX PRX. It's what
I can't be angry at improvement. That's why I wasn't really angry at like anything I saw from GE this year, because I'm like, well, every time I watch them, GE are improving.
And their opponents.
So I can't really be angry
now on to
at
the
that.
next round, of course, ZETA has to fall by, but PRX has started to build up a
Zeta,
bit of a bang.
I just saw
ZETA's trying to be very
the same thing on Icebox. That's why I was flaming.
Meanwhile, the rest of PRX starting to set up for a bit of a B split push. You've got Hiroran just trying to jiggle for.
Watch out today? Nah, next Tuesday.
Gets the first pick on the Something,
2 days time.
which is a very good pickup.
Now that's a confidence booster as well against Something. And Def lining up, almost gets 2, not quite going to stabilize for the next. It's a quick
Here we
pitch
go,
from
back of
Finn
sight.
as well.
Odin.
Odin still alive and well, only 10 HP, now decayed all the way down to 1. He needs to go for the pre-fire, but Jing's quick on it. He couldn't hear the audio because of the C's.
Well, they left the spike.
2v2, Zeta Division at full health. They need this round. Going to wrap around, try to make sure that they can find another angle, but the door gets closed, and now you're out of options.
Right. Door's quickly broken though, so still some angles available. Smoke's dissipated as well. PRX at the very least will be able to stick the spike down, and Zeta looking to push in together. They've got a flash, they've got several pieces of utility from the Omen. PRX has to be very careful.
Now it's going to be the Nightfall, nice and early as well, just to stall them. They've both been tagged on this side. It's a nice pop flash from Urian.
That is a really nice pop flash.
Out. What perfect timing, a double swing.
Yeah, that was cool from them. They handled it well.
Division, as they will be able to get this round and try to stabilize their economy.
Very respectful push. I mean, yeah, you don't want to give the Nightfall too much respect. Yes, your sound and everything might have been robbed, but
PRX hate there? Wait, really?
Because you have that pop flash, something that maybe PRX didn't quite expect. With the jump as well, of all things, is what really threw them off. I mean, look at this. Even going for the spray transfer. Good job in marking their individual targets. But ultimately, it's also another thing that PRX, going a little bit too wild, Laz had the Odin, and he was always stuck inside a boathouse. This is what we saw just yesterday when they were playing
it's nice if they want attack Omenor.
Pick up his own Odin.
And
always favored this weapon even on the attacking side here on Ascent.
Gotta hope the Zeta win this if you're a Zeta fan.
A lot of map control, and this is where we started to see that PRX style of using the Odin.
They're gonna get wrecked otherwise on this one.
For complete distractions, trying to mask their audio, things like that. We'll see if it continues this time around.
Yeah, I felt like people. I felt like in Platchat were pretty complimentary of PRX.
Doesn't need it.
Not at all.
Or their original plan was to go for the crunch middle, so they still invest the flash. Bro, Jing is out-dueling so many people right now.
Now on to Depp. He's already arrived on the crime scene, but Mind Freak has different ideas, instantly knows where he has to mark.
He was at the crime scene just a bit too early. He became the end of the crime. The spike being planted afterwards as well. And PRX now leading 3-2 rather. You know, I do wonder, do you think the Clove with the pick-me-up zoomies is closer to Ray's movement speed or Neon? Because here's the thing, it is very clear that they're trying to find another agent
in your face. Thank you for the 6 months. Appreciate the prime.
The whole left-right movement, the micro adjustments while he's fighting.
Does that still have a chance?
When he had the Neon.
No.
See it sometimes when he has the Clove.
They are
I just
not in
wonder if
place.
he has a preference.
Guess we'll have to wait for an interview to ask him that, but for now, certainly either agent looks pretty darn good, and PRX looking to continue to aggress into the A site. They're just diving straight in. No room for Zeta to breathe whatsoever.
What is going on?
Generator, but he doesn't quite land it. Yuran and Sugar Zero have made
It's one of these games.
Jing, alongside the ultimate, he's come back into the game.
I thought
sorry,
I thought Mind Freak was going to stick that fully.
Around this? He's only got a sheriff, and he's been
Dude, my throat can't handle this.
You cannot
Too much
peek
talking.
this. No,
Too much
sir.
madness.
Spike gets planted now.
The Who with the prime. Thank you so much for the 9 months.
Jing, he's going to have another smoke. Hiroran doesn't really have many options. He'll slowly creep out. He wants to isolate 1v1s, but Mind Freak's not going to give it to him. By the time he drops down onto the box, he will start to get exposed. Sound made. He doesn't land the first shot, and Mindfreak cleans up.
Dude, give me a replay of something,
And
man.
boy, oh boy, it's nice to
What
be
is
back
he
in
going for
2022
here?
where every team starts to play at PRX's own pace. I mean, this is, I'll just say it like it is. It is as messy and crazy as it can get. And it's ZETA trying to counter PRX's style, right? It's them trying to make sure that they keep up with it. And they're doing their best, quite frankly. I mean, they're getting close. But PRX thrives in these scenarios.
It's really
Okay, another buy round
fun to
for
watch, to say the
ZETA,
least.
and
Huron actually diving head
got the
first
attack
into
Odin
that with
still,
a
got the
stinger.
defense Odin.
Something that we don't see too often every day.
We
now.
are
ZETA going
sending
in
it.
for their own version of Tiles
Whoa.
Crunch.
Whoa.
Back up the top spots.
Wait,
out
that's
top
cool.
Of Devi's head, and that's going to be Depp finding the shot into his cranium. The next on, though, is going to be PRX as they hang on back from B lobby. Smoke things off, trying to rotate through, but the spike has been dropped.
Yeah, the spike being dropped is a big one.
Yeah, that was
now,
really
ZETA
cool.
Division, their hold around the spike actually isn't that safe, so I would love to see them back out eventually. I love that. They're just going to say, okay, if they do pick it up, they pick it up. They're going to have to spend so much time anyway. We'll even smoke it off just to make sure that
And
they'll
they're
have to use
hoping
some extra
they can
util.
delay.
But meanwhile, Forsaken's already
Hoping they
ahead
can
of it, so
delay a
PRX
lot
reads that
and
that's
create a
the
question
breakthrough
mark.
from ZETA.
But
Now,
honestly,
a
they
bit
just
of a back
smoked this
and
off
forth on the
and
chessboard as Mindfreak
Forsaken,
sets up.
and they just sent it through the
Tries
smoke.
to make an
I
opening
think
here
there
for
might have been a
something to
prowler
break
that I
through.
missed, I'm not
Mindfreak's
sure.
gonna be there for cover. The shock dart gets full damage.
Metal being sent out as well, so this is a very good telling that PRX is about to head into the A site. Hidoran trying to return in kind, but unfortunately eats a bullet to the face from Jing.
That's
so
speed
that's
so
is.
fast.
Still,
on the
it was a nice round for
I
them.
know. He has those zooms.
I like the
and now
jet
he's looking
pathing
to
on
watch
this.
out some of these angles, trying
Cool.
to push on through, maybe mark his own smoke. He has
It was a prowler that
the
cleared
ultimate,
AK.
so
Yeah.
why not go in for this, right?
Well, instantly uses it. And it's just gonna be him jumping
Come
back
on, man.
and forth, trying to find the kill. Come on, it's still Death that you're fighting against. Give the man some respect.
God.
Forsaken will be able to clean it up. That's a 3K for the Fade as PRX now leads 5-2.
I can't believe he went for it like that. I thought he would have like dropped back down to Generator or Hell or something.
Nah, you gotta keep going. The thing is, quite frankly, that is how you should be playing the Clove Ultimate, right? I mean, if you're gonna pop it, you gotta chase. Like, you can't back down from that.
Fair enough, especially if you have your teammates right there to back you up. So, I mean, PRX are doing their thing. And this is one of the more interesting things. Yes, a couple of days they did play this. Jing did have, a mixed bag of performances against RQ, but apart from changing up that Sova to the Faith, they also swapped the Cypher out. So, I mean, having this double initiator now, yeah, they might not be able to watch their backs or have the best defensive setups, but the aggression that they've got, and you can see all of this in all of its greatness in all of these rounds.
Yeah, and this is not a team, that has to always have a Sentinel. PRX, obviously, they brought out the no Sentinel.
How'd you counterplay a guy that aimed this?
Sunset,
Yeah.
over on Lotus.
Sometimes you have
and
those
as long
games.
as you're aware of that weakness that you have, and you can control.
But I mean,
other
this-
parts
this
of the
game
map,
is good
listen,
for
I'm not
that
gonna
kind of
fault it.
stuff.
I'm sure it's
Especially
not
this
as
map.
stable,
It's not
one would argue.
conventional.
Sure.
You can aim
But,
diff
I
everyone,
mean,
but
we'll see,
if you got an
because
Odin and
PRX
a paper
The
thin
thing
wall,
is even on defense,
still
if
win.
you're able to push out pretty aggressively, take control of either A main or B main, at that point, the extra
do
smokes
I like
it could really
scrambled
help create
eggs?
some better
I
angles
mean,
for you, especially on a
yeah.
map
Is this
that
for
is
the?
already
Is this for
favorable for the
something to do with
defensive side.
sideshow?
And now
Why
we'll
do I
see
worry
ZETA
about that?
Division after that timeout. They do have a bunch of ultimates, but not the weaponry to follow up. So they will be leaning heavier towards that ace side, just hoping that they made the right read.
Yeah, it's going to be Hidoran with a Sheriff alone on the B side. He's got the ultimates, though, ZETA Division. At the very least, they're trying to mark this. This would increase their chances of winning out the site if PRX decided to commit to an A hit, given the crossfires they all set up. PRX just holding for a bit of a default hold for the time being. But
It's
then
okay,
now,
okay.
without any information, seeing the smokes, actually
pass and stack.
thinking about hitting into A.
Yeah, I mean, they got pinged by the 0 point, and they realize it's their jet, so they just say, okay, hey, let's go over to A. This is working out for ZETA Division so far, but they've actually stopped them with the utility with still a minute on the clock.
This
So
is a
PRX
good.
could rotate
This
if
is an
they wanted
interesting
to.
insight into
They can also
PRX
push
though.
in after the util's
The
been
fact that
used,
they
PRX gets the read. They say
it wasn't like they were prodding
like
or trying to get info over towards B. They were literally just trying to sell the fake on this. They had already committed and decided they were going to hit A no matter what.
And Jing's good for the first kill. Def trying to line anything, but cannot find its target. Sugar Zero will be good for one.
It wasn't like info gathering over towards B with the option to rotate out. It was literally just we're hitting A no matter what.
Kind of on his own with a Sheriff, having to go for something, anything. I mean, this was just amazing reads from PRX. They just saw all that utility, even with their smokes off, trying to bait some of it out. They figured something was kind of sus about this, and you were absolutely right. They pushed on through from short, and they saw everything possible. Now, Jinx
It's not the third shorty kill already for him.
6 rounds.
All right, ZETA Division had that timeout before the previous round. You have to imagine that they talked about both possibilities. So now with the Operator, now with the Ultimates, this is where you need to slow things down. Jing just thriving in the chaos. Even when he used to play the Raze, this is how he would open up space, create control for PRX. Now trying to find that comfort zone on the Clove.
Starting to be a little bit more comfortable with it. I mean, he was kind of top fragging when they played this against RRQ. Just maybe not super successful, but that said, with the right agents this time, all that support coming in, he's able to trade out through and through. Something just dives right in, but the Hunter's Fury from Laz.
Yeah, I mean, the lineup's insane. He hit another one with this as well.
That lineup is so good against A main. They popped the Nanostorms early, so they knew that.
Tell me they don't lose this. They got Killjoy as well. It's so fun to use the Killjoy.
Yes, they do. The drone comes out. But how many members are they suspecting? Good for the spam. He actually gets Mind Freak in return, so that makes things even easier.
Oh, Euron looking a little bit more tactical today.
Why do I feel like Forsaken's using his ult?
Pretty much pinned down in towards A main, or maybe even Wine.
I like that he hit. Honestly, I like that they hit the knife because it means that Forsaken doesn't have a chance to ult here.
Secure cover as they spam on through into the spike. Something manages to find the first. Forsaken onto the next. No.
Did you see him get tempted to use it after they defused?
That's gonna be the round.
I was so scared that Forsaken was just going to full send the Nightfall right as it got diffused. That would have been... I would imagine that's when you call a timeout, no matter what, if you're Alex.
And Alex just like starts spamming the desk.
Well, the desk just isn't there anymore. Goes to a tech pause. We did ask him on the Korean desk about that time where he slammed his desk and then we had a tech pause because the coach...
If that knife doesn't hit him, I'm so confident he would have used the ult there.
But then he was just leaning back to watch the next round and he accidentally hit a cable with his feet. So not completely correlated. Here we go, off shot, bit of a whiff.
Big overwhelm over towards site.
Goes right into the side. And
oh, shots,
good
man.
For two.
Second shot is really impressive.
Forsaken now stuck. Last fires through the wall. No way to back out. And now the spike in Devi's hands, stranded in Cubby.
He's trying to find someone to shoot, but they're not really quite giving it to him. Mindfree comes in to support, eliminates Depp, so Devi now having a bit of cover, he manages to back off. Mindfreak, though, still stuck around the side. He's trying to sneak on through, making them think that he might be around market, but nope.
There's a nice attempt, flash bomb.
Euron manages to shoot a point blank.
Zero didn't eat the flash at all.
That's just going to be too many targets. Devi can't find one out of the 4.
Dude, Hero Run just hit some really good shots. Euron, 70 with the 3 months. Appreciate the prime, man. Thank you very much.
Division. You can see it all happen. Again, the defensive setups have been something to behold, especially when they played this against Talon once more. Last, always inside of Boathouse.
Yeah, I like I like this pathing. Kind of get wrecked a little bit. The dash from something's interesting into the smoke, but then you're kind of jumping out of your smoke into a one-way.
Looking comfortable. I mean, this
so I don't think we'll see that in the playoff games.
Came a bit late into the stage, but it has been looking so much better. They all just look so much more comfortable. Yes, it comes at the cost of Laz not really being free to roam about and anchor and lurk, but if it overall raises the average of your team, the comfort level, the comms, maybe it's worth it as something. Now trapped completely, all the util dumped.
Yeah, and do they react over towards A with the info?
And ZETA gladly will leave the site open as they've already weakened PRX on their attack.
Yeah, numbers now. Still, though, we've got the controllers, and Jing is still very much alive. They managed to take down the site. and the door being shut down. Forsaken slowly starting to set up for himself a bit of a lurk. He doesn't see anything quite yet, though, and look at that 0 point. Might have been able to retrieve all the information that they needed. So reinforcements now in for PRX. They're starting to mark out tree, but ZETA just reads this right as well. They go all the way through down to 11.
Revenge.
The shorties able to get the first.
Oh
Device
boy,
snaps onto
Jing.
the first head. Jing in with the not dead yet, but he's still kind of trying to find these shots.
Oh no,
ZETA
he
just
wins.
out in the open, in the cold.
He
Rash
wins
trying to
these
nail him
2v4.
down, but Jing and Forsaken,
Of course
the duo
they do.
lives and breathes down ZETA's neck.
Great micro movements there from Jing. I mean, even using the not dead yet, to come right back alive. Teams back up with Forsaken. Crosshair placement, crisp here from Jing and Forsaken both. The power duo of PRX right here. I mean, just the spacing from these two are so good as well. Using the pick-me-up for the extra speed. Forsaken covering their back. They've got everything calculated.
Yeah, 7 on attack.
Now 7-4. See how much more they can get in this
They
last
lost
round.
pistol.
They can make it a 4-round lead.
Would be amazing, but that said, ZETA division.
Guess is
Now,
what we
one
expected.
thing that I have been loving from ZETA is the way that they're being proactive on the defense. I mean, look at this, the way that they've pushed into B main. In previous rounds, the tiles crunch that they kind of innovated certainly throws PRX in for a bit of a loop. They might not anticipate this, and the operator shot sounds off. Deb dives
Now
straight
there's
in,
the
tries to look for the
confidence.
second late, but unfortunately does not quite land. Something will be able to pick up the spike, and he still wins away.
How long is this match currently?
Still going to be
21
two
minutes.
Very crucial
It's not
kills.
outrageous.
The initiator's gone from PRX. So the
They
execute's
had finished
not
that.
gonna have the full setup. You just have
They'd
to
finished
rely
that Lotus
on
game by
your
now.
peaks now. You can create advantageous angles. You can create
The Talon
50-50s
one?
with the extra smokes, but that's about all you got if you're PRX. Paranoia used to push them back. That actually draws out the counter recon. So now they don't have to worry about that before the round ends. They can at least get the spike down, and then it'll come back off of cooldown.
You are trading utility, so now your only option is to kind of walk in or maybe use your smokes to sneak onto site. Sugar Zero is right here, waiting to mark.
I mean, that
You're
knife,
on.
that knife
With
gives
the
away
0 point
everything.
again, manages to retrieve the information necessary. Fragment out, and it kind of does stall something very low. So is Mind Free. And they have to find their shot.
Low
Sugar Zero
HPs, Sugar
repositions.
Zero,
They've dropped
2
down,
kills.
they're clearing out health.
One.
But where is Sugar Zero? Right around Generator. He plays around his smoke.
Easy 2 kill.
And ring around the Rosie. The
Okay, they got
headshot
5
into
with a pistol.
something. 5 to 7 for
It's
ZETA
not
at the end of
great,
its first
but
half.
And there are
Doable.
small things you can take
Doable
away,
if they have a good
especially
start.
if you're
Give 'em another
interested in
pistol.
ZETA Division's play and their future, right? Overall, compared to the rest of this year, their teamwork looks better. You touched upon it earlier just a bit as well. They're a bit more decisive, a bit more aggressive. But even things like the Yuso there, it's not a pre-planned set play, but the paranoia, the fragment just to keep them trapped, just to stall them, and then the push in from your end, knowing that they can play for time. That allows Sugar Zero to reposition. I mean, overall, it's a very good setup from ZETA Division, as they do catch up to 5 rounds, still behind as they now try to plan their attack on Ascent.
Yeah, looking really, really good from ZETA Division. It is Ascent, though, on the defense, but I wonder how this composition actually works out without the Sentinel. But that said, I mean, it's also like, you know, slight improvements from every player from ZETA Division. You know, Euron having the awareness to send that 0 point at that time, and also Deb, well, Deb doing Deb things.
Yeah, I mean, Deb coming back alive, right? He's always been good, but he has had some relatively quieter days. But yesterday, today, both firing on all cylinders once again. 9 kills, still 11 deaths, but trying to continue to raise that on the scoreboard.
Meanwhile, it's Euron actually with the most kills right now, but for the other side of PRX, Jing and Something being able to find these trades and entries. Can they do the same on the defensive half, though? The way that they are positioned tells me that they're trying to peek out and potentially push up front.
What is this?
Yeah, it's just
What
gonna
are
be
they
that
about to
classic
do, man?
Push on the
3
pistol
people
from
middle.
the defense. ZETA seemingly quite well aware of it.
Sheriff goes ghost.
Now, Huron's going to be looking to play close to mid to make sure his turret is available over on the B side as well. Common setup that we've seen more and more often As now, with that mid push out, it's just a clear execute onto the A site. Does PRX try to cut off the backup?
4 people here early.
He's not gonna be able to land. He
They
hears
cut
the
off
noise,
everyone
so he's
else.
just gonna back off in time, gets the trade, but Lab's
Wait,
already
how
taken
is, I was
down.
gonna say, how on earth is
Quick
Mind
kill
Freak
onto
allowed to
Mind
do what
Freak.
he's
PRX
doing?
trying to fill the gaps where they can.
Run
Something I
through
believe is
door
in
to
the
Jenny.
site. He's gonna peek up, but Uran swings around, gets the kill off of the spike plant. He'll go for it again. Another jab
double
just
pistol.
to draw out the target, and ZETA keep 4 alive.
Is this the same Euron that we've been seeing in ZETA? I mean, he's actually very aware, and he's like marking all of these angles and getting all of his shots landed. PRX were trying to find that timing to deny the spike plant, trying to throw a wrench in ZETA's plans, but it wasn't quite happening because of every player, you know, watching everything. I mean, look at this.
Yeah, I mean, I felt that Uran sometimes was really actually the one
can
trying
actually
to
win.
hold them together when things would
No,
go
they can definitely
awry,
get
but
this map.
obviously a little rough around the edges, maybe a bit too
There's
too
no
ahead
doubt
of
about it
things.
for this one.
But overall, trying to take the initiative, and now that the overall team's gelling,
The other maps
he's
worry
just
me a
fitting
bit.
right
Yeah, especially
at
Lois.
the top of the scoreboard. Marshall comes out for something on the defense, though, on their eco, so going for a couple greedy buys today on Ascent. See if it pays off.
There.
So far, nothing quite yet. Forsaken trying to sneak in, but he doesn't spot anything whatsoever. No sounds inside of B main. This could be a bit of information for PRX. He hears the turret, though.
Yeah, well, you hear the turret looking for a lurk, right? So that should let you know that the main forces are over on A. He'll even find the kill onto the Killjoy, and that all but confirms
Oh,
it.
guys, not
PRX
like this.
now forcing them to fight. ZETA will answer in kind, and Dev will answer in space.
Nice shots.
As he gets a double-edged shot, great space for his teammates
Really nice
to enter
shots.
onto the site. Still a little bit of damage taken, especially with Laz being at 21 HP.
Whoa.
Dev already taken down. Forsaken.
It's
One-way's just too strong
his own
against
team's
him.
one way.
He's not going to be able to peek around it, and he will drop.
Oh, it's Jing's one way, too.
Yeah, I know. Trying
Jumps
to mask
down
him from
into
the
it.
drop, but obviously not favoring him on those
Yeah.
peaks.
But this is awesome, right? I mean, first of all, the decision to dive into the site. He doesn't just dive straight in. He dives over onto the right side where he has angles to spot every single player out. And then you have the aim, the way he's able to swivel
The
Oh,
back
most
and
perfect
forth.
one way, and he
And
jumps
of course,
behind it.
Laz
That's
coming
sick.
in to support and find those
Okay, let's see what the
trades
bonus
as
like
well.
was after. They
This
decide
is
to
that
insta-send it
Zeta
over
division
towards
that
B.
is
They got an
firing on
Odin,
all
but it's...
cylinders
Oh,
for
they're
sure.
spamming. Oh, no.
Oh!
Oh, okay. Well, there's a B site.
That's
Round
one of
just
the,
started.
yeah, that's one of the
Yeah, that's an
cleanest
open
counter
B
spams I've
site,
ever
and then
seen.
Jing tries to send it in with the double
As soon as they take out
smokes.
the Odin, they know they can get in. It's a free site. Because there's no
Wait, that was
sentinel.
incredible.
The
He
Odin's
double
the only
dinked
thing
him.
that's going to hold it back for a long time. I mean, sure, if there's a paranoia, but outside of that, there's no actual damage to be done against you if you're going in for the execute. Decisive ZETA division.
Incredible.
It's Paperthin's favorite ZETA division. It's a decisive ZETA division.
As long as he keeps predicting against them, then yes.
There's just too many curses flying around the Pacific.
I know. Meanwhile, it is a 3-on-5 retake that PRX is considering. The economy doesn't look too great,
Scanning ahead.
but yeah, holding out for exits instead.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to get it. Oh, okay, they get 2. I mean, damage done is damage done.
Damage done.
Enemy remaining.
And
Well,
Mind Freak.
A lot of
clean
damage
house.
done.
But
Still
no
though.
defuse.
Like, is that a... They'll take
That's
this,
it,
dude.
yes, absolutely.
The bonus,
Closer to
they're
the
kind of expecting to
ultimates.
die anyway.
A lot of good kills and robs those guns away from ZETA Division. They will be able to buy back, though.
Yeah, I mean, most importantly, I guess the
Give me
Odin
this
not being
replay.
carried away
On
by
plat chat? Yeah, I'm
ZETA
pretty
Division.
sure.
Not sure if they would have chosen
I need to
use
double
it
check
or
what
not.
Kat messaged me, but I think so.
But putting the smokes, I mean, listen, you have the opportunity to do damage, you might as well. You're still able to save 2 out of the 3 guns that you had starting from the post-plant situation. So you will just stick with those 2. And now, if you're able to start to stop ZETA's pushes a bit, the Econ
Boy,
is even down.
eats
That's
the
a fast
flash.
push out, push
No
out.
way,
What?
eats the flash, dashes to the
Blinded?
side,
Half
resets.
blinded, but something recovers quickly enough. I mean,
Crazy reflexes.
oh, wow. Well, Sugar Zero, that's a wake-up call.
Wait, Forsaken, relax,
smokes
man.
for ZETA
You're
Division
the
on the
only
attack.
one over to.
Oh
Sorry,
my
idiot.
god. And now just
The only
watching
one.
the angles.
Okay,
Forsaken,
now relax.
Ever so precise.
You're the
Laz
only
will
one
be able
on
to fight
B.
back, though, with the Prowler.
You have the
Bit
worst
of a
gun.
false tell. Now with that, ZETA gets to walk into the B site. Everyone's trying to rotate on over. Something does not spot anything, but if he just walks out a little bit further out front, might be able to spot them inside of tiles.
Whoa.
Hunter's furious.
Dude, he was expecting the fast rotate. It looks so dumb when we can see the minimap. It's honestly such a fine, it's such a fine ult.
Yeah, with the door broken, now it's a bit of a mystery. So Laz wanted information, but he doesn't quite get anything. The drone already used as well, so you've already done all the stalling you possibly can. Now you just have to be able to go for the kills. And Debbie's got a fine Clove looking into the dimension for the smokes. And Deb will now be the nuisance in B main. PRX, they need to move while the smoke is still up, but Uran is the first line of defense. Uran goes down, but there are the pings. Laz holds him back.
Yeah, the double. Oh my god, from that angle as well.
Huh?
Yeah, double.
Whoa.
Double recon scan.
He just tracks him.
We need to see that slow-mo because, yes, this tracking was awesome, but at the same time, it was a bit of a collateral. Kind of?
Yeah, well,
not too sure.
Up. Yeah, the angle. He's able to just get a quick spray down.
That was awesome. I mean, PRX, you know, trying to fight them through and through with the
Intimidation ult.
I'll tell you,
it was actually just a perfectly fine ult from him.
Angles, the setups that ZETA are
it's just the fact that PRX decided to 3-person push A main instead of fast rotate over towards spawn.
Here is the timeout.
Yeah, that angle, I mean, you don't imagine that he would be holding that angle from the alley. Lines him up right close nearby. And, well,
made sense in his head, but it made sense just full stop.
And here's your answer. Even Coach Alex does have his limits.
Yeah.
We'll call that timeout.
Wants a little stat boost, maybe.
Things back in.
Come on, guys.
And I think this is probably a good time
getting
to
past the 60 mark.
That this is just PRX. There's no funny business going on here. This is PRX, and they're playing a no sentinel composition. They're a very confident team. They push out, they take duels. That's how they play Valorant. That's how they try to take control of the map. It's just not quite going as well as they would hope.
Yeah, for real. I mean, they were doing this against RRQ. So trying to right the ship, trying to figure out the optimal way to play this composition ahead for playoffs. I mean, that's really the ultimate goal right here. Still needing to make it through and, you know, get the best possible result. Meanwhile, ZETA Division definitely improving on all accords right now, just holding out for, you know, watching some of these angles after the timeout.
They'll play it carefully. The smoke creating some question marks for Dev.
I mean,
so
ZETA have always been good at Ascent. Got to, yeah, when you're looking at a team, you've always got to just separate them into their maps as well.
Saw the smoke coming in from the attack.
It's pretty much why we always try and make sure we have like double a limb and stuff like that, because you can get like bad maps against
again, no sentinel here for PRX.
Well, like you might match up map-wise better.
Their bodies, that's the space they get. Nothing more, nothing less. That's why we see both the Jet and the Clove peeking out a bit further into main to try to get that early information. Now the drone gonna have to force Jing's hand out, but Jing is hidden there. Only Mind Freak shown. We're close.
Yeah, a lot is up to Jing on this.
Now they know that it's two members on the site. The Paranoia. Can they
Mind
chase
Freak
through
can't
it?
use his own flash for a little bit.
So there's the pop flash way up high, but Jing hides right behind. He still gets taken down by Deb. Uran being the extra firepower as Mind Freak trying to hold on, eventually gets traded down.
Yeah, and it's just a nice round with a K-wall.
3v1 in favor of ZETA as they go for the spike plant.
Poor guy did what he could, but meanwhile, ZETA Division, the execution is so pretty much flawless. It's all down to something. He might have snuck on
alarm
through,
bot might
it's
wreck
still
them
so
a
many
little
targets. Is it going to be a target-rich environment, or is it going to be a firing squad? It's the
they're going to pick his right side of the alarm bot.
Out just the edges of the generator.
You want a silent drop?
As soon as he drops down, though, you can expect so many of them. Try to watch out for him. Initial peek out.
There's way too much going on. Nice recon. It's just a good round from ZETA, to be honest.
Well,
so the split was really good.
Love to see it.
Overwhelming the K-wall.
But not over-rushing things, especially now that they're on attack. They can play to their
Sandy
own
G,
tempo. They don't
23 mums. Thank you so much.
Dragged around by PRX's own change of pace.
Respect, Sandy.
Good opening kill from
Thank you, thank you.
You're just going
almost there, right?
23. Crossfire. You love to see it. I mean, ZETA Division is playing like a very well-drilled team.
That's exactly
sending it over towards.
I mean, again, that execute was so good. And now here comes the paranoia. ZETA tries to push on through into the B site.
Oh my god,
Followed up
dude.
by some smoke still, but Deb's still managing to stay alive. The shots are good. The pop flash now from Euron. And Forsaken and Jing unfortunately can't do anything about this. Mind Freak from the shadows into sight, but he's completely surrounded. Paranoia sent out as well, but right behind him is going to be Euron. It's all down to Divide. Trying to find something, anything. Spots out the turret. Knows that there are a couple of players inside a boathouse at least, but as soon as he swings out, okay, nice little collat. But Sugar Zero still able to respond.
And they forced into it,
ZETA
so in theory, they should
that
be
was risky, though.
low
Can't make
buying.
mistakes like that against
But I
the likes
kind of
of
think they're going to
PRX.
force again.
Bit of a mistaken double up rather than a high-low setup from ZETA Division. But like you mentioned, just too many targets. So Divide will
I
get
got a little
taken
bit
out
unlucky that he got
eventually.
scanned before the dash, I guess.
And
But
we see this every time PRX plays a PRX style composition, so to speak, is sometimes they get caught up in their own pace. They get caught up in their own sauce a little bit. See if they can reel it back. I understand. We've pointed it out that there's no sentinel. Sure, you have to do something to push out and get space. But you can't overdo it. Don't want to see the small mistakes that we're not used to seeing from PRX, right? We saw something kind of bumping into the wall there on the tailwind, not finding the right angle, not finding the right timing. Those things start to add up and cost you.
Yeah, it certainly is starting to mount up to a big ZETA lead. PRX trying to be very, very cautious this time around, not pushing out too much, using the Prowler to clear out B main, but it doesn't spot anything. In fact, it's going to be Huron who hears that piece of utility being sent out. Something?
check it.
Now here's a bit of a drop.
Because I
rest of
think
the
Jing
team
might
pushing
just
out
jump.
main.
Yeah, this Prowler.
How many people does he think
Yeah,
it is?
and that
The
kind of
Prowler, once again,
sells the
not
fake that
tagging
he's not
anything. So
here,
much
that they're trying to get
misinformation
info
from
over
the
towards
Prowlers.
middle.
And something he's ready for one, but he
they
knows that
saw
there was a
him.
drop earlier. He finds the other,
Nicely
and
done.
Mind Freak's there for the
push
quick
over
trade
towards
all
middle.
the way out of A main.
Sorry,
This
towards
is the
A.
type of control PRX has been looking for. All this information on B, over by mid, and they push out from the other side to narrow it down. But Laz gets two
Okay,
headshots
2v5 at his
back to
peak.
back.
There's a chance.
Give ZETA Division
No
some
matter
breathing
what,
room.
when Laz goes
Now he
down
steps
or
up
if he
inside
gets a
the
kill,
boathouse.
he's going to have his ult for the next
PRX
round.
Trying to bang them up as they head on through. Fragment just to keep him inside off the other angle. Isolates out Sugar Zero, but Last still
imagine.
sharp on it. Nails the first. But
That's
as
a
soon
really
as the
good
double
attempt
peek
from him,
comes
though.
out, PRX, Divide will be able to secure one round for PRX. The first round that they picked up in the second half.
Yeah, into the first half of 7-5, and now barely catching up to 8 against ZETA's 11.
Imagine it.
All they needed was to really kind of pump
Would have
the
been
brakes.
the end
Slow
of this
things
map,
down.
that's for sure.
You know, you creep out from the other side, you took some initial space on B main. And this is a composition where they have to take the initiative. That much is true, even on the defensive side. But it doesn't always have to be an all-in. There's still a full 100 seconds that you get to work with.
The difference this time was the way they slowly, gathered information. Prowler doesn't see anything around B. You have a B squad slowly clearing out A main. Maybe the same thing this time, but ZETA holding things back as well.
They do successfully
boy.
clear the turret right
reckon every time we're on
away,
something's
so
POV,
that's
I
gonna
just think it's
slow
gonna
down
do something
ZETA's
mental.
information just a bit. The Prowler, it's taken out before it finds too
Thing
much
is,
value.
there has been a timeout
Once
though,
again,
so normally
PRX
they
disrupting
relax
some of that
themselves a
sentinel setup
little
over
bit
by B.
when there's
Now,
been a
what they don't know
timeout.
is that the alarm bot was set up
I
right
feel like
after, so it's a bit of a
Pre
passive
timeout
re-clear from
something,
ZETA Division.
he sends it through
As
that
Huron
smoke.
will still be able to hold on to some semblance of control on that side of the map. Still a minute on the clock. ZETA looking to work A.
Soupy though,
And if
thank you
they
so
do
much, man.
not
Appreciate the
find
prime.
too much
Thank you for the
opposition,
11
I
months.
imagine Huron will start to fish
Thanks so
for
much
more
for doing that.
information just to know if they want to commit to the site execute or not.
Didn't quite see
Just
anything,
decides
but
to go forwards as a
huge
3-person
contact.
swing. There's still 2 more people here
Mindfreak
though.
unfortunately loses his life, so
And
now
Depp saw one
not a
over
lot of
towards
salt
door.
available for PRX. Something just tries to spray through, doesn't quite find anything. Depp's already on the site.
Ado,
Nightfall
1,
just to set up
2.
for that retake.
Only hit
Jake
2,
continues to
but
push
there's
out from
2
the top of
isolated
heaven
on
now.
site
2
and they have a
players
smoke
gone, and all
down.
that's
Yeah,
left
this is a
gonna be
nice fast flood.
Huron and Laz upside of A main, outside of tree. A couple of shots going through, but that's ultimately all he can find. It's down to Laz in a
What up?
1-on-2. Well, make that
One-on-one.
a possible 1-on-1.
Oh, man.
Uses the
There's
ultimate,
the
and
revives.
everyone's back. And Laz tries to
Zombie
find more
squad.
shots, but it's way too much for him to handle. Forsaken in with the Phantom. It's going to be PRX with a second round win now.
I mean, a lot invested, right? You have the null command, you have the Nightfall. You have the not dead yet. Everything thrown to secure that round, but secure it they do. And a bit of that half zombie composition.
1v1 became a 1v3, yeah, real fast.
I mean, here it's the Nightfall plus the metal, so there's just no chance for Dev's health to get back up. With that decay, it's an easy kill for Jing.
But at the same time, it's just getting the read for that A push. ZETA tried to hold things back for a bit. So
the rationale of running the fade in Paper X comp, I think they literally hate playing Sova. I think that's it. I think there is no like, it's better at doing this. I think they just hate Sova.
See if they correctly identify that it's just been quick rotation to rotation here.
If you watch their last Ascent game, it was like 3, maybe 4, maybe I missed one as well. Like 3 missed recons from the Vi. I don't think anyone on this team likes the agent. Or at least likes to play the agent. They probably know. I mean, they know it's good. It's just they don't like it.
Every single play, but there is no reason to get upset just yet.
Okay, timeout though cools him down, just heal a little bit. He got an eco, still doable at 11-9.
Looking to maybe at least get some extra points towards that Blade Storm. And you can try to match that firepower in. And there's going to be some focus on mid from ZETA to make sure they can cut off a little bit of that rotation and the timings.
At the very least, a couple players spotted out by something now at the top of A main. More interestingly enough, though, is Step being able to sneak all the way under. Just around A short.
Something's out. Oh, Dev gets spotted. He's gonna actually just commit. He's gonna dash in. They're trying to make space for the main squad in A. They're trying to make it a full sell that it's a pinch on to B. And Paper X is so far fighting it just because
over towards B main, they're hunting this guy. We found the gap over towards middle. We get the kill over towards B as well. Dude, this eco has a lot of potential to be working. Got a flank on a flank. Look at the Jets at the moment.
They're faster. The paranoia out, but something gets Sugar Zero. That should be the cue for Dev, and he's able to do it. He opens up the site. And
they know he repositioned here. I'm pretty sure they heard him early. Depp closes the door, and it's looking like Forsaken think that he actually went with it.
Yeah,
nice round from Depp.
For ZETA Division, though. Now Depp going even further to eliminate Forsaken. It's all down to something now. He doesn't have any mobility. Just the blades.
Dude, really good round from Depp.
Quite the headshot onto Depp.
Everything was perfect here.
Triple kill.
It's a nice idea. Everything was good here.
All by himself.
This is kind of 2 people being distractions over towards here. A main staying pretty silent.
And Huron's still good for one here as
and
well.
When they started making sound, they had the rotate. I think they had the rotate from middle. Either way, he took the timing in middle.
I mean, a very, very curious round, but well played by ZETA Division. You know, Paper X, they snuck something in all the way, but not enough damage done. As we are looking at ultimates online.
Hey, 3 chances for ZETA to take a map of Paper X.
They close it out. Swift map choice of Ascent. They find Mind Freak and Depth's clean with it. Instant response from Devi, but the crossfire, the pop flash, it's there. There's the Hunter's Fury. Devi can't get out of it. Something. He will just selfishly fly away.
That's
Solo, 3v4.
Teammates down. ZETA Division. Just a couple of ultimates spent, and they still have so much potential to continue pulverizing through into the site. Lockdown deployed. Something going on the journey. The same journey from before.
I mean, it's the best option they got. The lockdown's been used too. ZETA Division have the alarm bot, but it's not going to spot him from too far away. Forsaken gets spotted. He's trying to come back in, but the alarm bot finally notifying ZETA Division up the flank. Jing trying to hold them off, doing some damage, but not much. Just scratches on 2 members of ZETA. It's a 4v3, and so ZETA Division will go for the plant. Still evened up at 3v3 during it. Now back to 4 on that firepower. Huron gets 2 of the spray down on the door.
Okay, nicely done from them.
Sugar Zero taking down
Nicely done for ZETA.
As ZETA Division lead this series 1-0.
Started things
I think the next map is going to be not as easy as that one, but
with such an
still a good sign.
composition.
Still looking good in the
Once we headed over onto the second half, ZETA came back from a